Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Zan Campbell, and this is
Grace Arrowwood.
And we are here talking about faction kits for the Sealords today. So for those of you who don't know, the Sealords are one of the factions, one of the 4 factions that we have at our event, Weekend Warrior, and they're based kind of roughly on Byzantine and Anglo-Saxon culture. A lot of cool stuff. You can find more about them on our website, weekendwarriorexperience.com. But I asked Grace to come because she has been to 3 Weekend Warrior events.
3.
And I assume is planning to come back on.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And so she has gone from having a really simple kit to making her own. So we wanted to talk to you guys if you're looking to join the Sealords, or if you just are designing an outfit for anything of a similar culture or idea or stuff like that. Anyway, if you're looking for some sort of Rangian Anglo-Saxon generic fantasy outfit, then this is a good thing to talk about. Anyway, so we're going to try to give you guys some resources, some of the brands that we use, some of the stuff that we make. So full disclosure, we like this stuff. This is the stuff that we use. So if we tell you that you should buy it, then that's just because we have spent our money and that's what we do. So yeah, anyway, that's that on the disclosure thing. So Grace, tell us a little bit about the basics of your kit.
My kit basics are tunic, pants, and boots. Usually need a belt because otherwise you flop around everywhere. I've got 3 tunics because Weekend Warrior's 3 days long, and changing clothes in between is always a great idea.
You can get away with 1, but having 3 is nice.
Yes. Gets a little smelly if you wear the same tunic 3 days. This one I made using the Berkschneider tunics as a pattern. I have 2 of those at home that are also great. More in the Sealord color scheme. My pants that I'm wearing today are actually from, I believe, a thrift store, but I've got a Berkschneider pair and a pair of men's dress pants that I got on sale and dyed.
And even at Fell and Fair, like we use thrift store pants and like Amazon men's linen pants, like yoga pants and stuff all the time. So as long as, because you only see, like 6 inches of fabric there. So yeah.
Yeah. And not traditional linen pants usually have pockets, which are super helpful.
Yes. And elastic waistbands.
Yes.
Yeah, big fan of that. So.
And then I've got leather boots. What brand were the boots from first year?
Those are the ones that we don't sell those in our shop anymore, but we've got new ones coming out. You can also get them on Amazon a lot of times, especially women can find women's size cool riding boots. Some men, if you can get them in the bigger sizes, we have a whole video on boots, so you guys can check that out. We'll link to it down in the description. But yeah. But
these have served me well. I like to wear leg wraps to keep my pants in my boots because all the running around, if you're not careful, your pants will be kind of untucked and it's not super comfortable. And I like a hood for both sun and neck protection.
Yeah.
Also, if you're wearing chainmail, having the hood under kind of keeps it from trying to cut your head off.
Yep. And grab your hair, and especially if you have longer hair. And hoods, we've been filming outside all day, and hoods are awesome, not just to look nefarious and mysterious and such, but they're great for sun protection and rain protection, all that sort of stuff. So definitely big fan. I think it's the #1 thing. I'm looking around actually at what we were filming today, and pretty much everybody has a hood because, let's be honest, it's like one of the best things that you can have.
I obviously didn't use my hood enough today.
Yeah, well, you have to do it for the shot, right?
Yes.
Well, cool. Well, so we've got the basics. You've got some other equipment on right now, so walk us through that real quick. You got some bracers and gloves.
Okay. Yep. Bracers, obviously for Weekend Warrior, they give you some extra hit points on your arms. These ones don't cover my elbows, so they don't count for upper arm, but they're nice here. Gloves, I'm usually an archer, and wearing the fingerless gloves gives me a little bit of hand protection when I'm shooting, which is really nice. It also protects you from other people's armor, because the Kingsman in plate and other people in chain can kind of wreck your knuckles a little bit.
Sometimes when you're sword fighting, if you're kind of go off somebody's armor like that, it'll protect your knuckles. It's really handy.
Yep. And then this is one belt. I usually wear like 6 and lots of pouches.
Big fan of belts. Yeah.
Because there's not a ton of time to run back to your tent and grab stuff in between fights. So I like to, I think this has silverware in it right now that, if it's dinner time, I don't have to go get my stuff and then come. I can just get right in line and grab my food. They're
You've got some cool accessories and jewelry and stuff, and that's really faction specific.
Those are-
And yeah,
yeah.
so
got my little Sealord
yep,
token.
yep, some cool things we've added over the years. So let's talk kind of. We've talked about light armor, leather armor. So a Gambeson for a Sealord is another great thing. So this is a Gambeson that I wear. It's sleeveless, so it doesn't give me arm protection, but it gives me warmth when it's cooler in the evenings. It also gives me armor over my chest and my upper legs. So this is a great kind of clothing armor combo. Now, there's different levels of armor at Weekend Warrior, and we have a whole video on that you can check out as well. But leather armor is, you get 1 point of protection from that, as well as padded armor. So you've got a leather armor scale, Sealord, Byzantine-esque thing. So you want to show that to us?
Yep, I made this last year, and it's pretty fun. It's my first attempt at anything leatherworking-esque,
yeah.
And it's it is practical. It's thick enough to be a hit point, and you can fight in it. But I also have this and these buttons on the top attached. So for formal events, have a nice cape to wear to represent my faction. But it's
And that keeps it from having to hang around your neck, which could
Yes.
potentially, if you step on it, it could choke you or something like that.
Yep, which is really nice.
But yeah, so that's level 1 armor. Level 2 armor is splinted or leather reinforced armor, and I realize I'm wearing my greave right now, so I'm going to take it off. There we go. So you see I've got metal splits here on the leather greave, so that gives you 2 armor points. For 3 armor points, you can go to Chainmail. I'm a big fan of Chainmail. It's by far, you wear Chainmail, I know, it gives you the most coverage, gives you 3 hit points, still a lot of flexibility and mobility. You do have some weight, but in my opinion, it's totally worth it. If honestly, the dearest thing to my heart would be if every Sealord wears Chainmail. That would be awesome. But, you know, that's a pipe dream. One day. But anyway, Chainmail, you can get the aluminum riveted Chainmail from our Felon Fair Etsy shop and from the Weekend Warrior store, and I know that you can get it at eBay and other places as well. Also, there's steel butted. The only thing I recommend you don't get is aluminum butted Chainmail, because that stuff is just trash. So don't even waste your money. But yeah, so the last thing I would say is plate Lamellar. So this is kind of like what she's wearing, very Byzantine looking. But it's steel plates, so that gives you 3 armor points, so that's a great option. Big fan of this one. I wear this, and I can bind this on top of Chainmail, which gives me way more points than I need. But you know, put this on top of something padded or something like that. You can definitely layer armor. So wearing a Gambeson, wearing Chainmail, and then wearing your leather would give you a total of 5 hit points, which is the max. That's great. So yeah, so let's talk other equipment like helmets and stuff. So you've got your helmet. I've got my helmet.
Helmet's
Ta-da!
a little big.
Yep. So helmets, headshots are off limits at Weekend Warrior. You definitely don't need to have them, but it's great to have just the protection in general. I like it because it lets me fight with more confidence, knowing that, you know, if I duck my head or something and I get hit in the head, I'm not gonna, you know, it's not gonna hurt me. Because the bottom line is, if you get hit in the head, it may hurt, it may not, but just why risk it? It's just, you know, you don't need it. Like I said, you're not required to wear any sort of head protection. But I like it. Plus, helmets really look cool. Like, they really help define your character. Let's see. I guess just weapons is the last thing to do, right? Okay. So shields. We've got our big Sealord shields like this. So this is from Epic Armoury that we painted. I highly recommend painting your shields. It adds to the realism. And then weapons. Sealords use a lot of archery, pole arms. We can Calimacil, Epic Armoury. And then this is like a Calimacil Viking sword. So we use a good mix of like Eastern, Byzantine looking, and then Viking looking. So yeah, well, that's kind of the overview. Anything I missed? Anything that nice little accessories? Cool. Yep. So cloaks. We didn't really talk about cloaks. We're big fans of cloaks. But yeah, having a cloak for a formal occasion or in the evening, something like one of the Viking cloaks or coats rather in wool or in linen is great because it can give you some extra warmth and added layers. We're big fans of layers, sashes, belts, hoods, tunics, layering, all those things really gives you a cool look. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. There's so much more stuff that you can find out about Weekend Warrior at weekendwarriorexperience.com. And yeah, we hope to see you there.